So it is December 2nd. We are ready to open number 2. That's day 2, and this is the lighthouse for day 2. So let's take a peek at what I got, because I don't remember what I put in there. And I just dropped it. Here it is. This is called Orange Flower Yarn. Okay, that's the brand. Orange Flavor Yarn. It's an MCN, so MCN, which is Merino Cashmere Nylon Sock. And it is, the color is called Tea Rose Variation, which fits it. If I can hold this so it'll focus on it. Oops, I dropped it. Let's try that. There you can see it pretty well. It's looking more brown than it is. It has some kind of pink. It is brown, but it has some pink undertones to it. These are all 5-gram mini skeins. Aren't they cute? So that is today's little unboxing. But Dave and I went on a little trip to Gettysburg today, so I'm going to include the footage, and we went out to dinner too. So I'm going to include the footage so you guys can go along with us. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Hello. As you can see, I am at Mickey D's. I stopped and got, this is the McDonald's that Kim and I meet at a lot of times, and my hair's a wreck because it's windy outside. But Dave's at a coin show, and so I'm chauffeuring him today. So I stopped and got a child-size iced tea. Actually, this is my second one because I refilled it. Yeah, so anyway, I'm drinking that, and I was knitting, was working on my poncho while I was sitting there for a little bit. But then I got to thinking, the place that he's at is kind of a hotel convention center thing. When I was a kid, it was a really neat place. It's kind of gone now, but there's leftovers of it, so you'll understand once I get you there. So I'm gonna turn the camera off, and we're gonna drive down the road and go check out something that I remember here in Gettysburg when I was a child. So let's go together. You can see the Pennsylvania Memorial over there, and I'm driving right through the center of the battlefields at this point. There's some houses and a barn. But this is Steinway Avenue. Those over there are Little Round Top and Big Round Top, which are closed right now. If you missed the video on Gettysburg, I will put a link in so you can check it out. But Little Round Top has a castle on the top. It's one of the monuments, and you can climb up in it. But they're renovating some of the stuff up there, so you can't drive up to it. But I did do a tour of Gettysburg a few months ago. President Eisenhower's farm is off to the right-hand side. I can't see, you can't see it from the road, but President Eisenhower used to have a farm up here in Gettysburg that he would retreat to, and it is up here, and you can take tours of it. Off to the right, up here, way off of the road, is a giant barn. I mean, it was probably built about 20 years ago now, maybe longer. It was home to Boyd's Bears, which was a company where you could build your own teddy bear and other stuffed animals. I mean, it was huge. It was like 3 floors, and they had a little restaurant in it, and they had, it was just set up really cute. All these different little teddy bears and stuffed animals. I have some at home, but you could buy them, and they went out of business. Oh, it's probably been about 15 years ago or so. The building was being used as a wedding venue for years, but I'm not sure if it's still around or if it's empty or what it is now. But it was a really neat building. I mean, like I said, it was 3 floors and it was huge. It was probably the size of about 3 barns put together. And it had escalators that went up between the different floors and elevators and stuff. And it had stairs too, but had windows that looked out onto the countryside. Now, this is a broken down area now. It's really kind of derelict looking, but when I was a kid, this was set up as an international village. These are now condos, but it was set up so that you could, there's like an inner courtyard. This is the back ends of all of the buildings, but you could go through here, and it was set up like little countries, sort of like a little Epcot center. And you can see one of the buildings here. So I can zoom in. There's the steeple thing to it. But they were all different little shops that you could go through and buy things from. And then over here, I can still see back in the woods part of the original gazebo. But back in these woods, there was a little canal thing set up that you could do paddle boating in. And there was a gazebo, and on Sunday afternoons, we would sometimes come up here and they would have like barbershop quartets playing in the gazebo. And there was a sky lift that came from where this international village was over to where this little park was. And it was the neatest little place, but it's all overgrown anymore and really kind of run down. I think one of the gazebos is up here, which I will show you in a minute because we just went past it. This is the front. It's called Devonshire Village now. But at one time, this was a little international village of shops. And here you can see the front of that building that I showed you the back of a little bit ago. So it's set up to look like little, there you can see the inside, sort of. See if I can zoom in so you can see it. Has all kinds of little, each building has different characters to it, you know, characteristics to it, and you could walk around in there and different international shops. So it was such a neat place when I was a kid, but it's all like fairly cheap condos now. And this hotel was part of the complex. I remember it being here at the time. That might be where the skyline was that came over. There is the gazebo that used to sit in the other location, where they used to have little bands and stuff, like come and play on Sunday afternoons. But you can see it's in really rough shape. This whole complex is in really bad shape anymore, which is a shame, but well, we stopped at Perkins for dinner, so there's Dave. And Dave has pot roast, broccoli, mashed potatoes. And then we have water that we put this stuff in. It's Mio, so it's orange tangerine. And I have country fried steak, rice pilaf, and French fries. We're going for starch, but this will probably be like 3 meals for me. So we're gonna sit down and eat. There goes Dave. There's Dave finishing his up. He said it was good. Here's mine. You can see I ate probably about 6 bites It was a big patty, but I ate some of that, and I ate a little of the rice pilaf and a couple of fries, and I'll probably get another 2, maybe 3 meals out of that. And a little tip with french fries, reheating them if you have an air fryer. Throw them in the air fryer for a couple minutes, about 2 or 3 minutes, and it crisps them back up for heating. So, yeah, it was yummy, but I'm full.